Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a beautiful Tuesday here in February in Knoxville, Tennessee. As always, welcome to all the newbies. Glad to have you on the call. Those that maybe haven't been around a while, there's some changes and a little bit different than it's always been before. First and foremost, we never had those of you, who are newer here at Networking Today. We never had an executive, VP join before, so that might be new to you. And we never really walked through who our area directors are. And the primary reason for that is, well, because we never had area directors. The screen used to look like this. Ladies and gentlemen, our area directors are no one. But we do have some now, and we've even added one. So this will be important for you guys to know. So you guys know we got Ray. And by the way, we run through this each and every week because if you can't reach me, you can't reach Brooke. Your area directors are your next line of defense, of course. And so we've got Penny Burr in Indy. We've got Martha in Nashville. There's Cujo. Look at Cujo. Max. Okay, so we got Martha Harvey in Nashville. We got Fatty up in Ohio. Evan Rauf in Michigan. And my computer is acting very strange.
Got doubled up.
We got Steve Reed in Texas and Michael Wilson, ladies and gentlemen, for Knoxville. That's right. Michael Wilson has been named the area director for the Knoxville market. And we're very excited to have Michael joining the area director team. And not only that, it might be, we don't have this confirmed just yet, but it might be that Michael may lead a new meeting here on the west side of Knoxville. So those of you that want to travel up and make it to West Knox meetings, it'll be good for you. Anything else you need to say about that?
Nope.
Excellent.
Way to go. Knoxville has an area director now.
Okay. Now, before we get into the website updates, I've asked Stephen Davis, who's one of our meeting leader peers. Stephen, I don't know exactly how long it's been because I don't always keep track of this very good, but Stephen's been our West Knox meeting leader. He leads a face-to-face meeting here in Knoxville that we call West Knox, and he took it over from Todd Olson. Todd Olson was a longtime meeting leader with Networking Today, and pray for Todd. He's having some health issues here and there, I guess. I don't know all of what's going on with him, but make sure and just say a prayer up for Todd. But Stephen's doing a great job with this meeting, and Stephen has a visitor day coming up, and he has a happy hour coming up. And I just want to ask Stephen, I talked to him just briefly. He'll confirm. I mean, it's ever so briefly, like maybe one text message brief. But I asked him if he would share like just some of the things that he's done leading up to in preparation for Facebook, encouraging the members, promotion. How did he get it scheduled? How did he talk to the location where he decided to have the happy hour? All of this kind of stuff in preparation, because while I know it's very normal to some of us, it's new to others. And so Stephen's going to give us the rundown. Stephen, unmute yourself, please. Introduce yourself to everybody and tell them a little bit about what you're doing with your visitor day and your happy hour, please.
Yep. Stephen Davis, here in Knoxville for about 6 years now. Been running that meeting for, I guess, just over a year. Yeah, I mean, by default, I'm really pretty new to this myself, but the beauty of having a team is that I do have people on my leadership team for that meeting who have some great experience, one even being a former area director. So just bringing people together with ideas, of course, is what makes things go a lot smoother. Starting, of course, with Facebook groups, Facebook events, just to really get the word out. I guess as far as a happy hour and then a visitor day, just as many ways that you can get that information out there helps a lot. And pairing them together seemed to work for us. So our happy hour is on Friday afternoon and our visitor day is the next Wednesday. We talked about trying to do it directly beforehand, but that didn't make sense. So it just makes sense to do it that way. Our meeting location happens to be a nice restaurant, so we can do it there. So that definitely works out very easily that way for us. One thing that we've done for our visitor day is we've picked a spotlight speaker who brings a lot of interest to the meeting. He talks about sales, and Rich probably knows even more about Frank than I do, but there's a lot of things that he's going to present there at that meeting. And we've even sent out a survey to get feedback from people about different problems, issues they're having with their businesses, just to get that interaction, which then brings more people to the meeting as well with that visitor day. And of course, inviting other people. So I mean, that's pretty much it. Getting people involved, getting the leadership team involved, putting those out there, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, at this point, we're still in the process, but just kind of throwing it all out there.
So, Stephen, thank you for that. Question I have. So years ago, Stephen, you're not going to believe this. Someone wanted me to write. they literally wanted me to write up like a guide, how to have a happy hour. Now I know, that might seem odd, but if we just accept everybody where they're at, and if someone's new to organizing a happy hour, and I know you're having it at your physical meeting location, but Stephen, how did you approach the GM? How did you what did you say to them? Or maybe you didn't, maybe you just said, hey, we're all going to meet here. How did you do that?
Yeah, we're doing ours very informally. I know some might have a pretty formal setup, maybe actually planning events for it. We're just gathering together and having a few drinks. I mean, it's very informal, just letting the GM know that we want to use an area of the tables. That's it. I mean, it's as simple as that. We're not doing anything crazy. We're not going out of our way. People can come and go as they want. By design, it's just very informal process. People might be there 5 minutes. People might be there a couple hours and stay for dinner. So we just wanted to leave it that way. Nothing fancy. And maybe we see things that make sense when we do it this, and next time we add a different twist to it. So very informal.
Are you doing anything with the restaurant as far as like a free drink or a discounted drink? Or what about appetizers? Are you organizing anything with appetizers? I know sometimes, Stephen, meeting leaders feel the responsibility to provide food. So they're like, oh, I got to pony up like $200 and have appetizers or no one will show up. What do you plan to do with your appetizers or anything like that?
Really no specific plan. Again, I'll be there Wednesday morning for my regular meeting, and then our happy hours Friday evening. So I'll just have one more conversation with the GM at that point, and just to see if anything comes up, but not really going out of the way to do anything special for that.
Okay. All right. Very good. Stephen, what have you done as far as your visitor day? Do you plan to have breakfast, coffee? And if you are, where are you getting it from? Have you worked out anything there? And follow-up question to that, if you can remember all this, did you raise money from within your group to help cover the expense of the visitor day if you're going to have food? Or what did you do there as far as promotion and preparation?
Yeah, for the visitor day, we'll do, a standard around here is to get coffee, bagels, things like that from Panera. So we'll kind of follow that. Something that's working already with other meetings, we'll definitely copy that. I have a plan for that. It's not executed yet. As far as money, we have over time, just depending, our meeting is kind of fluctuated in attendance. It's really growing strong now. We have over time done a raffle. So we have some funds in place that we definitely do need to replace. So something that we're going to address again, but we do already have funds in place for that from a raffle that we have done in the past. So, that's one way to hit it instead of having to ask people for money.
Stephen, I think you're ideal to actually have this conversation, because a lot of people are transplants. Not all of us are like Brooke, where we were born and raised in the city where we're sitting. Stephen, I'm assuming you don't know everyone in Knoxville. What have you done to get people to your visitor day? And how much are you leaning on your members?
I'm leaning everything on the members. I'll be honest. I don't have a whole lot of extra time for it, but we have a great core group of people who are there. We've had a good influx of visitors over the last few weeks anyway. So just getting that word out. And like I mentioned earlier, just being able to put the spotlight on our spotlight speaker, who actually brings a lot of interest, seems to have gotten a good response. So in the past, I've actually run Facebook ads just for our meeting and stuff like that. I really, to be honest, haven't done any of that at this point. I think with our meeting, this is our first real visitor day. So we're going to kind of do it just naturally, see how it comes along, and then, we'll grow from there. So.
And so I know you said you didn't really do a Facebook ad. Did you create a Facebook event, or are you using Fanzuma at all to send a message out and keep people informed?
Yeah, so Heather Dean, who's on my leadership team, did create a Facebook event. So that's gone out. Did not run ads for this one. I did send out a Fanzuma yesterday because of the fact that we had a survey that was going for Frank to be able to do his presentation. So that was an opportunity to both get people engaged and to remind them about the meeting. And we've got, we regularly, I know we don't count numbers in here, but we have a good, number 20 or so that come to our meetings. but I've got a good 75 on my Fanzuma list. So there's a lot of people that are getting that information.
Very good. Very good. Anything else, Stephen, about your visitor day, encouraging your members that attend your meeting, or your happy hour that you want to share? Or are we just giving you a round of applause and saying thank you?
I think we've covered it. No round of applause yet. Let's see how it goes. And then we'll get back to it.
All right. Very good. Stephen, quick question. You said your meeting is growing, like you've got some good growth. What changed? If you were a little slow there for a while or whatever, like what do you feel is changing the momentum of your meeting to get it spiked up?
I'm just people inviting others is definitely huge. I mean, just everybody getting engaged and try to bring somebody to it. I mean, I know that sounds simplistic, but it really is what it comes down to. Everybody just taking kind of some responsibility for that. Bringing in new blood just excites everybody, and then it kind of grows from there. So, I mean, I guess that's what I'd put it on.
So thank you, Stephen, very, very, very much. Thank you. I appreciate the short notice and letting me put you on the spot there. One of the things, guys, is, and I mean, it's not my business to share Stephen's business, but he's relatively newer to Knoxville. I mean, Stephen, when did you move back to or come to Knoxville? 2 years?
No, it's been almost 6 years now.
Almost 6 years. How long have you been with NTI?
With NTI, 2.5 years.
2.5 years. Okay. So like the networking, and this is a little bit new to Steve, not new. I mean, not really saying that, but I mean, as far as like B2B networking, BNI, NTI, this was sort of new to Stephen. And when he came into the Knoxville market, he didn't have that network that someone like Brooke has being built in, going to college here, going to high school here, going, having kinfolk here, aunts, uncles, grandparents, that sort of thing. Stephen didn't have that. And the one thing I'd point out is that Stephen's meeting location was struggling for attendance. And isn't it good that one of the distinctives of NTI is that we don't close your meeting? You don't have to wait till you hit 25 or 30 before you're chartered. Like you're an official meeting with NTI out of the gate. And for some of you that are struggling to really wonder, man, should I keep going? Dana took over the Crossville NTI meeting. No, Cookville took over Cookville.
I don't know why we can't get it right. It's Cookville and Crossville, and nobody gets either one right.
Because they're both right in the middle. They're both right in the middle.
Thing. And we plan on moving into Crossville. That's probably why, because that's part of
what we're doing.
Good one. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right, Dana. Thank you. But here's what I want to say to you. Like, you have to be persistent. You have to stay positive. You cannot count numbers. You cannot. I know Stephen said that he's running 20-ish, something like that. And he said, I know we don't count numbers here. The reason why we don't count numbers is because if you get excited only because you're growing, well, what happens when you plateau? What happens when you level? And then how does that make people feel who are sitting in the room? If you have one person or two people or 10 or 20, like if you're sad that you only have 20 members that are attending your meeting, if that like disappoints you or doesn't quite meet your expectation, it comes out in your face. It comes out in your voice. It comes out in your personality. You're discouraged. And so you stay encouraged. You keep the grind going. And then all of a sudden, momentum seems to take over. When you behave properly, momentum takes over. I had a friend one time and I said to him, I said, man, I wish I was that lucky. And he stopped me in my tracks. He was older than I was. I was a younger man then. He stopped me in my tracks and he said, Rich, luck is preparation meeting opportunity. If you are prepared and you're ready, when the opportunity comes knocking on the door, you'll be ready to answer and invite that opportunity in and celebrate together. What's happening in Stephen's meeting will happen in yours. But you must stay positive. You must work hard to keep that core group going, because your core is where all that comes from. All right. So I'm going to move on to a quick update. Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate that. And I know you have to leave early, but thank you for joining us today. Appreciate and love you so very much. And we look forward to being at your happy hour. No, I'm going to limit myself to one. Just one really big one. Okay. Now, I want to get into this a little bit. Some of what's happening on the website real quick, guys. Just want to give you a quick update because some of what's happening, it's not front facing. And so some of what I'm saying is that the members may not see it or may not experience it, but I just want to give you a quick update because there are things happening. So let me switch over to the website. Where do I have the website at? Here it is. Okay. So if I go to the website, guys, one of the things that we really want to do for each and every one of us is build out a stats dashboard. What you're about to see when you log in, and we're working on it really, really, really hard. We've made tremendous progress this week, but we weren't ready to push any of the updates to the live website yet. But imagine being able to come to the site and really manage your meeting location where you can see your members in real time, where you're going to be able to pick the duration at which you would like to see the statistical information. So let's say that you could filter by year to date, month to date, quarter to date. And then what if you wanted to compare it to, let's say that you're looking at it year to date and you want to compare it to like the previous 7 weeks, right? Well, what if you could be able to do that? Or what if you wanted to compare it to the same year-to-date dates, January 1st to February 15th in 2021, the year prior? Think about being able to filter your information however you'd like, or to be able to see the revenue. What was my income? How many new members? How many canceled members? I wonder how many people have add-ons. I wonder how many people have pro teams, mastermind. How many members do I have? What about the members that are paid? What about the members that are coming up? What about the members who are unpaid? What about, you see what I'm saying? We don't know how you want to see the information. We know how we want to see information. So we're creating it the way that we think we want to see it, but we're trying to also think about it from your perspective as well. So when you log into your dashboard, it might take us another week, maybe even another 2 weeks. But when you log into your dashboard as a meeting leader or an area director, you're going to be able to see all of your stats. You can sort of already see members and manage members and things like that now. Like you can sort by date and things like that. And I'm going to show you that just very, very quickly. But all of that is here for you to be able to manage. And it's going to get even more informative. But we're going to need your feedback. There will be bugs in the system. Like we know that there'll be problems once we push the code live and we all start using it. But also you're going to see some really amazing updates on the data and information you're going to be able to have as a meeting leader and or an area director with managing your locations. Now, just to show you what we've already done, because some of you know this and some of you may not, I'm just going to go to my meeting location. I'm just going to put in DeForest in here real quick. And I'm going to go to my meeting location here. Now, if I go to local meetings, I myself can go to edit the meeting. Now, some of you know that this is possible. Some of you don't. You can change the day of the week, the start time, the end time, the address. You can embed or not embed actually, but paste the Google map link here. Change the name. You could change the image. If you wanted your face in there, you can upload a nice picture of that. If you've made any kind of imagery that associates with your meeting location, feel free to put it in here. But the one thing I would just encourage everybody, keep it generic, keep it like, don't make it all about you. Make sure that you realize it's a very small image. So you want it to be visible. Don't necessarily take a group photo. If you have a 70-member meeting location, we wouldn't be able to see any of the people. So think about that as you upload an image, but feel free to upload an image or change the description or cancel the meeting or launch a new one. So all of this is capable in the system, and you've never had that capability before to add new, see analytics, If you click on the analytics of a meeting, the intention here is now your analytics are going to be available for this particular meeting. So all of your numbers, sorting your annual recurring revenue. So where this says annual recurring revenue, this is actually not accurate. This is actually real time as earned. We got to change the description. We've changed it in some places, but we've not changed it here. In other words, if I go back to my dashboard, well, it still says annual recurring. I thought we changed it here, but that's okay. It'll be changed. This is actually a real time as earned. This is earned revenue in the time period that you're looking at. And actually, it's since the website went live is what that's looking at. But it's going to get better. It's going to get better. This is weak. We realize this, but we're just trying to start showing you what is coming your way. When you go to analytics, we want you to be able to click on how many free members do I have? How many, annual individual members do I have? Where you can go through and you can look at, are they active? You can click on subscription. In fact, you can sort by any one of the headers right here. So if I click on subscription right here, it'll sort by active or inactive, and you can sort your members however you want. When you sort and you see that David Housand or Krista Hall is unpaid, well, you can call them right from your dashboard. You can email them right from your dashboard, and it makes it very, very easy to manage your members. And you can see here, I got a few people I got to call myself, but this is where you and or your area director will be working to change the unpaid to paid so that you get paid and their membership is in good standing. Okay. Which, by the way, I want to talk with you guys a little bit about this because we have a goal. Like we have things, milestones that we want to hit for networking today. As many of you know, we got hit hard by COVID, but it wasn't just COVID that hit us hard. Believe it or not, it was the last iteration of the website that hit us hard. And so a lot of the data that came over was corrupted. And what we need you to do as an area director and or a meeting leader is spend some time going through your membership, seeing who's not paid. If they are definitely done, like they're not coming back to networking today, as far as don't delete them. We want them, just leave them in there. But if it's someone that maybe they had a debit card compromised, or maybe maybe the expiration date expired, like it can be a million different things. But if they're unpaid and they're a good member, they're going to stick around, well, maybe call them and get them back in, good graces with NTI, and make sure that they've got everything updated, because it makes a difference in the NTI Connect, the referral system, the My Connections, the directory, and everything else. Excuse me. So everything else that they want to do within the system, or that you want to do with them, they cannot take advantage of. They can't take advantage of the My NTI digital business card. They cannot take advantage of any of the add-ons if they're unpaid. So we want to work with those members and get them in. We will be reaching out to them as well. So we don't want you to think that we're burning the candle at both ends. But as a meeting leader, it seems that it's your responsibility to make sure that the members who are listed, who have chosen your meeting location as their primary location, to make sure that they're paying. Number one, like I just said, it makes sure that they have all of the resources available to them. But the second thing that it does, let's just face it, it pays you more money, because you're paid on every single member. If you are meeting leader level 2 or 3, then you're paid on each and every member. So you'll increase your own compensation. Not only that, if they're paying, they're more likely to attend, and they're more likely to help you build the network. So what Stephen Davis just said a few minutes ago about engaging the people is you have to make sure that you're talking about your meeting as our meeting, what we can accomplish. And that makes all the difference of the world when you make it about us, we, what we are accomplishing. And it makes all the difference in the world. So that's a little bit of an update there that I wanted to share about the statistics that are coming. Add-ons. So one of the things that we're doing over here on the side under add-ons is, you have pro teams and member meeting rooms and mastermind groups and things like that. Let me just very quickly touch on these. Pro teams are not mastermind meetings. You say, Rich, are you trying to be BNI? Well, I'm not trying to be BNI, but if I can offer something to our members of value different than what we offer now, but it's something of value and we can offer it, we're going to offer it. Whether it looks like any number of meetings, I don't care if it looks like LaTip, BNI, Master Networks, ICAG, Number 9, Rio, TNT, whatever. It doesn't really matter what's out there. If it's valuable, look, if there's another networking organization that rolls out some really cool widget for all of their members and I learn about it, guess what? If I can do it the same or better, I'm going to roll that out for us if it's a good idea. So the add-ons, when we talk about pro teams, think about it like this. I use the example of those that market, say, to the restaurant industry. If you market to the restaurant industry, they need POS systems. They need furniture, silverware, glassware. They need food providers. They need vendors to clean. They need all of these different resources. Your pro team is more of that categorically exclusive networking meeting that you organize, that you are a part of. And by the way, you determine how frequently your pro team wants to meet. NTI meetings meet weekly. If you run a Networking Today weekly event, then weekly meeting, then that meeting should meet weekly. But your pro team can meet monthly, literally any duration that you all determine that you should meet. It could be once a month that you meet with your pro team. It's like a power team. So I do web development, right? That's one of the things. I own a company called Famplicity, and we do web development for companies, big and large companies alike. Well, in web development, you need hosting, you need graphic design work, you need sometimes a printer, if you're doing logos and business cards. And so you have a network of people, a power team that serve the same customer, but in a different industry group. So going back to the restaurants real quick, if I were selling to restaurants, I would want the hoods, I would want the glass repair. I would want the Cisco foods guy. I would want to build my network with other people that are going out and reaching out to whomever would be my customer, but that they serve in a different industry. And we come together, whether it's weekly, biweekly, monthly, it doesn't matter. We come together to share referrals and talk about what's happening in the community of prospective customers that I can meet. One group used to keep an Excel spreadsheet. And what they did was they kept a list of new restaurants that were being added, who the key contact was, who knew about it, who the key contact at the restaurant was, what the phone number, email address. So the first person in the power team or pro team that went into the restaurant got all that key data and entered it into a Excel spreadsheet and then shared it with the other group. You could do that. But you just find out who your key customer is and you build a pro team around that. It doesn't necessarily mean that if you market to restaurants that you bring in the painter, unless the painter works in restaurants. But if it's a residential painter, it's not a match. You see what I'm saying? So, but if I were in a housing group, I'd want the blinds, the window treatments, the carpet person, the tile, the drywaller, the painter, the roofer, the framer. I'd want these people in my pro team. That is a pro team. Then you have masterminds. A mastermind is 6, 7, 8 people where you meet bi-weekly. Okay, you meet twice a month. And in this, you are building a group of people where you're saying, hey guys, here's what I'm struggling with. My payroll failed this week. Does anyone have any payroll suggestions? Or I'm struggling expanding from one state to the next. I don't know how to handle my taxes. then the people who are not just beneath you in business, and let me explain what I mean by that. They're not really beneath you in business, but they've either already accomplished what you want to accomplish, or they're working to accomplish the same thing you want to accomplish. So in other words, if I want to expand globally, it is important for me to have a mastermind group of other people that want to expand globally. If I'm working with a realtor, and the realtor is a part of my mastermind group, and they have no idea what it takes to take a business and expand across city lines, state lines, or country lines, then they don't belong in your mastermind. So that's what a mastermind is for. Your member meeting room right here is so that you can be found on NTI Online. As you know, NTI Online is not just NTI weekly networking meetings. NTI Online is for book clubs like what Evan has, or Zig Ziglar, like what Steve Reed does. I don't even know if these guys are on the call, but that's what they do. Okay, so Evan has the book club. It's going great. Steve has the Zig Ziglar room. It goes great. When we have other things happening on NTI Online, it serves as sort of a directory, if you will, so that you can be discovered or found. So our masterminds are on NTI Online. This meeting is on NTI Online. Our member meeting rooms are on NTI Online. And I just wanted to show you guys something very, very quickly, because you may not know that this exists. So this is my account. Do you know if I click on, well, first of all, let me come down here. I still want to show you this. If I go to profile, you see you have all your links here. You have all your social media links, website, your My NTI card, all of this. But I have to go into the member meeting room to add my NTI card URL again, that whatever one I want, but also the calendar link. When I add my calendar link, now this says get Calendly, but it doesn't have to be Calendly. You might use another calendar link. But if I go to NTI Online here, let me just jump over there real quick because I want to show you. And I go to member meeting rooms and I type in Rich. I'm looking for Rich's meeting room. So here it is. Notice I've got a schedule 1-to-1 link right here. Or if I click on no more, I can schedule a 1-to-1 with Rich right here. When I click it, it's my Calendly link. This allows them to schedule with me because I've incorporated and integrated my Google Calendar with Calendly so that people can book with me right there. And it automatically uses this meeting room for me to be able to meet people. But I took it a step further and I created my own domain name. So I created meetwithrich.live, and we're going to put this in the add-ons. It's not there now, but I don't know, for like $15. And if you can buy it cheaper and know how to do it, fine. I'm not battling anyone on whether you can buy something cheaper. I'm not. Like, if you can buy it cheaper and want to do it cheaper somewhere else, be my guest. I'm not stopping you. It doesn't matter. You don't have to use the NTI resource, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't like vCard Global and you want to use a different digital business card that's free, by all means, please go do it. This is just what we're offering. But check it out. What if you could just come in and for $15 a year, purchase your own, Meet with Dana, Meet with Steven.live, Meet with Ruben.live. And then that URL redirects automatically to your meeting room. Well, that's what I did. I did meetwithrich.live and it takes them right here. Do you know members and non-members alike can join your meeting room? And if you have a pro meeting room, you can have unlimited time and unlimited number of, well, not unlimited. I guess they cap it at like 300 or 400. I don't really remember what the limits are. There may be no limits. I don't remember, ladies and gentlemen. What I'm saying is, like, when you have a pro, you can literally send everyone here. You can do webinars. You can throw out on social media or whatever mass distribution list you have that you're doing a training. You can advertise, hey, just meet me at meetwithrich.live on Saturday afternoon at 1:00. And I'm going to do a financial workshop, or I'm going to do a home repair workshop or a taxes workshop, whatever. It doesn't matter. And you can throw that out and brand it for you. Don't brand it for NTI. Brand it for you. We want to brand you. We want to brand your business, but that's what the the member meeting rooms are for. Okay. So when you're looking at the add-ons, that's what these are for. Now, for everything else, the NTI interview, TV interview, the digital V card, these are going to be placed under extra add-ons. When I click on extra add-ons, it brings me to the place where I can select other things. Now, these gray squares, there's going to be a branded image there. I know it's not there yet. I wish it was. We had a little update there issue going on. But don't worry, it'll get fixed. Now, I can just select then which add-ons I want. It doesn't matter. You're going to notice some people ask for an annual option for the V-Card Global Digital Business Card. So now we have it. You can do the annual, you can do the monthly, totally up to you, what you want. Click continue. It brings you to the payment card. It shows you what you're registering for and how much, and then click complete, and it'll process your card for you and purchase whatever add-on. When someone needs something that is not automatically integrated, like the digital business card, an email is triggered to Brooke and Suzanne. Brooke will then go in and register the digital V-Card Global Business Card until we have it automated. Now, the automation on the V-Card Global is not working because of a limitation within V-Card Global, not on our side. So we still have to set those up manually, which we need about 48 hours or less to get those done usually. It doesn't mean that one or two doesn't slip through the cracks now and then and again, but just remember that's a manual process until we can get it all automated. And we deal with limitations of the providers that we work with. But what you're going to see is pro teams, member meeting rooms, mastermind will be under them add-ons. You're going to see extra add-ons, and that's where everything else will be listed that they can choose. Then when they go to my subscriptions, they will see all of their add-ons right here, which, by the way, if a member comes to you with questions, issues, hey, I didn't want this, I didn't mean to do that, I want to cancel, whatever they could say, you as meeting leader can click on the manage link next to any member that has chosen your meeting location as their primary. You can see exactly this same thing, and you can cancel whatever. Now, just so everybody knows, you're going to notice that this option right here for the NTI TV interview doesn't have a cancel link next to it. The reason why, ladies and gentlemen, is because that's a one-time purchase. So I'm going to make the purchase of the TVI the TVI, the NTI TV interview, and okay, you guys try it, but there's nothing to cancel. It's a one-time purchase, so there's no cancellation. But these two are monthly recurring, so I can cancel them at any time, no contract. So that's how you want to make sure and cancel something for them or whatever it is that you might want to do. You literally can do all of it. But not only that, don't forget, they can see, unlike any time before, all of the charges. And you can see, what exactly has NTI charged me for? When did they charge? How much did they charge? All of that information is all right here. And obviously we want to make it even better, but I think most of our members would like their own refund button right here, but that's not going to happen. So anyway, so you've got my subscriptions and all that, the add-ons, everything is going to be over here now for the add-ons, and keep an eye on that because we're making that even more attractive as we go on. It gets better and better and better. Okay. So that is a quick website update. I just wanted to share with everyone how that is working and how that's being updated. I'm sure you have questions. And at the end, Brooke and I are going to stick around a little bit for a quick Q&A. All right, let me go ahead and change the share back to the PowerPoint, or Google Slides is what we call it. Now, so that's a quick update. There are three things that I need to talk about: free members, charitable members, and unpaid members. Okay. Whoops. Okay. Losing power, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Okay. So our product is only $30 a month or $300 a year. We're not selling $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 homes, right? We're selling monthly memberships or annual memberships. You, as our meeting leader for that given meeting location, you are compensated not as a W-2 employee. I beg your pardon. Not as a W-2 employee of the company, but as a 1099 independent contractor. As a 1099 independent contractor, let me just be transparent. I just want to talk from the heart. Here's where I struggle. If I go sell a website today, like for example, we're working on 7 website projects as we speak that total nearly, I don't know, $75,000 in business. I make a lot more on each and every website project than I do off of my meeting. With even having 40 paying members, I still don't make enough because it's only $30 a month. And then some are annual. About 40% of our membership is annual. So I get paid on that, again, as earned the month, the revenue was earned. But then I don't get paid on that again until 12 months later. But you are still paid on it as long as you're meeting leader for your meeting. But that's why your income can fluctuate. But we still pay nonetheless every month. Oh, I'll grant anyone that wants to split hairs and say, yeah, well, NTI has been late on a couple of occasions. We have, I mean, you guys don't know the stress sometimes of running an event-based company when you're going through COVID. It's very difficult. I'm not whining at all. I'm just saying, but we always make good. We always get caught up. December and January are our worst months. And then you've got June, July. Those suck too. Just letting you know. But we like, it gets difficult sometimes. But what's more difficult is when we invested a lot of money into the last website and it didn't work. And I know you were frustrated. Believe me, I can only try to assure you that you are not nearly as frustrated as I was, as the founder and the guy that, it was my web company that built it. And we had about 9 months ago now, we had a change of staff and we hired a new chief technology officer. And the new guy is really amazing. And we've literally spent the last 7 months building the new website from the day we started talking about it with them to the date of where we're at right now. So when the members used to try to update their credit cards, they couldn't. When someone tried to do a forgot password and update password, they couldn't. Is this basic everyday stuff that frustrated all of us? Yes, but it's fixed now. What we're asking for you to do is to spend a little bit of time going through the members who have chosen your location as their primary and making sure that they are paid. Brooke and I, we were at a meeting recently and we were spot checking some members just in the directory, not even like in the membership roster. This is just in the public facing directory. And some of them were not in there. And come to find out, they haven't been paying for over a year, but they're still members. Meeting leaders, please hear the compassionate heart with which NTI leads. We're not going to go back on those members who haven't paid in a year and say, you owe us a year of membership. That's not how we are. It was our fault in some regard. Now, did they know they weren't paying? And could they have written us a check or could they have contacted us? Of course. But we're not going to go back and tell them you owe us $400 or some kind of crazy number like that because you didn't pay or weren't able to update your membership on the website. We're not going to do that. But here's what we are asking. Does that negate the responsibility that we have because of the past problems to go in and work to get everyone caught up now? I don't think so. And I hope that you agree because we need help with that. It's almost impossible for me and Brooke to keep doing everything that we're doing moving forward, visiting meeting locations, going to happy hours with you, supporting you for your visitor days, trying to be a part of your events, getting to the other markets when we can, when you have live meetings that we can attend, and getting to the other markets. We've driven to Ohio, we've driven to Indy, we've driven to St. Louis, we've driven to Springfield, we've driven to Nashville on multiple occasions because it's so close. But we're there to support you, but we can't be out of the office 2 or 3 days a week and then still do all the admin as well. So we're asking for your help. You know the members. Presumably, you know them better than we do. While there might be some that you don't know, you know most of them. And you know if they're going to continue to come or if they're still attending. I had a member recently that I knew wasn't paid. And I said, hey, man, let me ask you, you going to keep getting the milk for free? Or do you plan on buying that cow once, in some lifetime? He goes, man, I just keep forgetting. I'm sorry. I said to him, I said, well, why don't you let me help you with that right now? I opened up my laptop. We got him taken care of. He's back paid. It wasn't something that he was trying to do. He wasn't trying, not to pay. So we want your help with that. Okay. Free members, same thing. If you have a free member, we're doing an audit. If they're not supposed to be free, we're either canceling their membership and or reaching out to them to find out, hey, how do we get you to be a paid member? Are you still coming? If you're still coming, how do we get you to, pay for your membership in a very diplomatic, polite way, of course. Excuse me. But the other thing is, and this is big for some of you, charitable. Some of you think that a charity, that you can have any business sign up as a charity at your discretion. That's not the rule. I'm sorry.
We just recently found one that was it was classified as a charity. And then as we read the description, we find out that it's a crypto-based company. So we have to be really aware of each person as they come into our membership. Don't just look at, hey, I have a new member. I mean, we're excited about our new members, but we want to make sure that we're legitimately giving those charities the discount, and they have to work as a charity.
Yeah. So some of you think that it could be a credit union, because a credit union is either structured as a 501c3 or some sort of 501 tax favorable treatment type company, and that doesn't count. A charity is one doing the work of a charity. So some of you will remember, Ray, I see that you raised your hand. Is it okay for everyone else if we come back to your question, please? Just so you know, that's what I like. But I will come back to it. I swear to you. But we're not trying to be mean, but we want to help charities. The heartbeat of the half off was not to give it to a crypto company that's making money. Quite frankly, that's very unfair to everyone else that's paying $30 or $300. So we want to be fair, but most agree, if it really is like the American Cancer Society or like here in Knoxville, we have volunteer ministry centers. They help those people living in our community who are experiencing homelessness get into permanent housing. And they've helped over 1,000 people get into permanent housing. They deserve $15 a month or $150 a year. Like, they deserve it. And we're trying to give to them and help them, not just be a for-profit company and help them be more profitable than they were last year. Okay. So as we find them, we're going to bring them to your attention because we have to get that fixed. And just wanted to make sure you guys knew that. And as meeting leaders, we would like to think that that's your area of responsibility, but it's also your area director. So your area director may or may not call you or reach out to the member on your behalf. So if you're not going to do it, we're going to ask the area director to do it. If your area director is not going to do it, we're going to do it from corporate. And it's gotten, the further away from you that it gets, the colder that contact gets. And that's not how we want our members to feel. We want them to feel like they're part of the family. We don't want to offend. We want to encourage, and we want to educate. We want to inform. We want people to be a part of us, but it's your responsibility. So please work at that. Anything else on that? Ray, I'm assuming that because your hand is still up, I can't wait till the end. So, okay, Ray, what?
Go ahead, Ray.
Just teasing you, Ray. Yes, please.
Well, since I am a charity, I belong to a networking group out here in Florida.
Yeah.
And at the start of the year, all the new memberships they wanted to re-up. They asked all charities to turn in documentation that shows proof that they are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. They are active and registered by the state of whatever state they're in. So I submitted all the documentation, everything that proves that I am a charity. So I don't know if that's something you want to go down as far as, hey, if you're a charity, you got to show documentation that you're registered as a charity with the state.
We are so totally doing it, but it hasn't happened just yet.
Yeah. So what I want you to imagine is I want you to imagine that you're a chef and you're cooking, like, let's call it a 21 course meal. And 20 of the 21 courses have to be cooking on your stove, and 5 of those pots are on fire. Okay. But the other 15 have to be cooked. Right. So that's what Brooke and I are juggling right now. We've got so many things going on, but Ray, that is something that's been on the docket for a long time. And we want to automate that process as much as possible. Just know that when someone signs up free or as charities, we're watching them.
Yes.
We just want your help in going back and looking at your memberships. You can click the charity button right on the membership roster. It'll sort them and reach out to them. Because if you don't, like I say, we will. And if it says crypto, we're not gonna call and be rude and make presumptuous statements or whatever, anything like that. We're gonna say, hey, we're so glad you're a part of networking today. Can you explain to us how your crypto company is a charity? Like, we're gonna be kind about it, but we have to ask. Now,
I wanted to just kind of add something to this charity membership. One thing that has been brought up to us is there are people who would sign, maybe they're a part of a charity, but they also have another business, but they end up trying to sign up only as the charity. But the main time they're in the meeting, they're talking about their other business.
right.
So let's be fair amongst all of our members. If you have someone that has registered as a charity, but rarely speaks of their charity and really focuses on their other business, that we ask them to pay the regular membership. It's just being fair to everyone.
It really is. And by the way, in case you're wondering, let me just say, all of you can go to the directory right now and look up a gentleman by the name of Alan Mcmichael. Alan Mcmichael joined Networking Today the same month that Networking Today started, in June of 2013. He is an insurance agent. He sells Legal Shield, life insurance, health insurance, group policies, but his family started a nonprofit called Fostering Hope, where they care for kids. He has 2 memberships. One is Fostering Hope that he gets on the charity, and the other he pays full price for because he stands up and promotes both. So it's just fair, and we needed to address it. Now, one of the things that I'll mention, free memberships still apply in some cases. So let's say that you do a trade with your local chamber. Let's say that you do a trade with your meeting location. So you're at your meeting location, and we don't pay quarterly dues. We don't pay for meeting locations around here. So you go up to them and you say, hey, and you get a free membership at NTI for hosting us, blah, blah, blah. Then we'll send them the free link. They get it. It's not that no one's free. It's just if they're there and they're a part of the meeting, they don't get it for free and they don't get charity. One more thing I'm going to say, and then we're going to move on, but I have to address it with our meeting leaders and our area directors. People on your leadership team, your visitor host, your inspirational thought speaker, your spotlight coordinator, the guy that brings the TV monitor, the person that brings your microphone, because your group's loud enough to use a microphone, the person that comes in and takes the chairs down off the table where you meet, they don't get a free membership. Okay. That's not how it works. We need meeting leaders and members to all fit within the model of NTI. Meeting leaders need to be meeting leader members option 1, 2, or 3, unless otherwise granted. Members need to either have an annual individual, annual corporate, or monthly membership. If they are free for any reason, it's got to be an exception. So that's
Well,
how that works.
And now, just so you're aware, if they do go in for the free one, we have to approve it.
Correct.
So just so you're aware, if they do get the link, we get notified before it ever enters them into the system. One of us has to hit approve. So just be aware of that. So if something happens and you do have a free membership and for some reason we've not
Caught it.
approved it or declined it,
You might-
reach out. It's probably
yeah.
just in the queue, as Miss Dana likes to put it.
In the queue. Yeah. So that's a lot of what we want to talk about. It's just the membership. You have access to it now like you've never had it before. So some of the best folks that are doing it are over in St. Louis. The St. Louis groups, O'Fallon and the others are doing a really nice job, Wentzville, at making sure that everyone that comes in is a paid member. And that's really, really important. Okay. So you got memberships. I talked about add-ons, but one of the things I want you to think about is submitting ideas for add-ons. Like shoot us an email, shoot us a text. Ruben is very good at this, where, hey, this is something that would help people network. We should include this to our members. If Brooke and I agree, we're going to add it to the add-on section. If we don't agree, we're not going to add it.
And we debate, y'all.
Okay. There's times we go like, we get in arm wrestling matches over here, whether it should be on there or not. But you guys, if you look at, I think Ruben's on here, right?
Yes.
So if you look at Ruben's backdrop and his green screen, he's got a keychain, and it's a very neat little, what does he call it? Ruben, what do you call that keychain widget thing? A locket or something?
Hold on. It's a tap.
It's
Tap
a bling tap charm.
A bling tap charm. So thank you, Ruben. So ladies and gentlemen, I like what Ruben's doing with the bling tap charm. And so we're going to add that to the add-ons. So we're not trying to insult or offend anyone, but we just want add-ons that we think make sense for all of our members. And so we know that all of us have our own little babies and our own little widgets, but we are evaluating all add-ons. And if you want to submit some that you think would be beneficial for everybody, feel free to do so, and we can add them in there. But it's got to be good for the members that take it on. But add-ons are something that we think are incredibly beneficial. I sent out an email. Some of you saw it. Some of you didn't. I wouldn't know why some of you didn't. My apologies if you didn't. Some of you may have gotten duplicate texts or even duplicate emails based on how you're registered in Fanzuma. But the duplicates were not intentional. If you got duplicates, I apologize. But let me say that we sent out an email to all of our members and even past members saying that if you want to keep your MyNTI digital vCard Global business card, you have to click the $4 add-on by March the 1st. If they do not have the $4 add-on or pay the $48 annual option for the vCard Global, then it's going to be deleted. We don't want to delete it. We're giving people plenty of time to log in, click that $4 or the 48 for the year, and pay it. And they can maintain their vCard Global. But we need them to do that. So, when you're talking to the members of your meeting location, just tell them, look, if you're enjoying these add-ons, get them by March the 1st, or you might lose some of them. Okay. Visitor contest. I'm hoping that all of you are doing this. One of the things that we discovered is when the visitor host is going in and adding guests into the visitor follow-up system, The meeting leader was not able to see who those guests were. That is fixed, or at least it should be for you. If you cannot see in the visitor follow-up system who your visitor host has added, that's a problem, but their contact information is there for you to follow up with them as well. This is a new addition, and we will only use visitors or guests who have been added into the visitor follow-up system. So the process is visitor guest walks through the door. Visitor host or visitor hosts greet them with a smile, warm face. Welcome to NTI. Is this your first time here? May I get one of your business cards? Great. Click, click, get the ink pen out. Who invited you today? Oh, Brooke invited you. Great. I write down Brooke's name. When I go over to my computer, once the meeting gets going, I'm sitting at my computer. I open up the visitor follow-up system. I'm entering them in. I enter in which meeting location I'm adding visitors to, and it drops down all sorted by alphabetically sorted. You pick your meeting, you add first name, last name, email, mobile, and referred by, and hit submit. That adds them to the visitor follow-up system. You now can look at who your guests were. We're trying to make it a little bit better so that the visitor host doesn't have all of the meetings, but only the meetings assigned to them. But that's going to take us a little bit more time to get done. I know it seems like it should be easy, but it has to be coded into the system. And we're working on all those stats and all the other things, even some of the bugs in the system, to make sure that you're not having those instead of worrying about that right now. But the contest only lasts on March the 18th. If today's February 15th, and it is, that gives you 4 meetings. 4. Some of you 5. But that gives you 4 meetings to get as many visitors there as you can. But get them into the system. Dana, would you unmute yourself, please, and go ahead and ask your question?
I was just going to actually just validate what you were just sharing, because I just put in 3 of our guests that I had today while we were doing this meeting, and it shows everything on there like you had mentioned. So it's working.
Great, great, great. Now, if you added them as you would see them anyway. If you have let's say Brooke is my visitor host and Brooke added them, not me as the meeting leader, I can still see them even though she added them. And that wasn't the case a week ago.
Yeah.
So
Do I have to have somebody, do I give them my login information when I assign a visitor host from my group?
No.
You can assign an individual as your visitor host through the site, so we can go in and show you how to do that. And then that person would then, once they are in the system, once they're visitor host, they'll have that access to be able to go in and add to the follow-up system.
okay, one small
That's right.
thing.
What's the
One small distinction. So the button for our meeting leaders to be able to make you a visitor host
I
yet
have
is
to.
not there yet.
That's why everybody had to email it to me. That's
Right.
why.
That's
know
why I
where
have
it's
to.
at.
Okay. I'll email that to you today. That's right. I remember that now.
Yeah, but I'm glad you brought that up because you guys, would you
I
have
have
like
6.
6?
I have
So,
6
I like,
visitor hosts in all of networking today, and 3 or 4 are just in Knoxville.
so like out of almost 70 meetings, 6 meeting leaders replied with who their visitor host is. I hope you have a team. I hope you have a leadership team. The 3 primary leaders you need are visitor host, business spotlight coordinator, and inspirational thought speaker. Some of you have an event coordinator. Some of you have a philanthropic chair or a charity chair type person coordinator where you do charitable things, and that's cool. But you got to have the 3. And if you don't have a visitor host, it can be you, but you're just carrying more and more of the weight in the work. So don't do that.
Yeah.
Share the load. Many hands make light work, but really get busy on the visitor contest because we want to award a member that brings the most visitors. But more importantly, you as meeting leader need to get in and see who those guests are and invite them back, invite them to a 1-to-1, which does a couple of things. You can talk to them about NTI and get them to join, because we're not going to be able to give any money away to our meeting leaders if we don't have new members joining, because meeting leaders and area directors are winning money, an additional $500 based on the meeting leader that got the most new members from the visitors. So the way the system's supposed to work is you got all these members, the members bring visitors, visitors get entered into the visitor follow-up system, meeting leader and said meeting leader team works to follow up with those people through a scheduled one-to-one, a call, or an email. You call, email, or schedule a one-to-one. You get to know them. You invite them to join NTI. They join. They then rinse and repeat. Okay. Like those people bring their visitors and the system keeps going. But through that whole process, you as meeting leader have had one-to-ones with all those new members, all new relationships, all new referrals, all new revenue. See, that's the circle of life. And that's why we did, you guys remember the life cycle contest that we did last year? That's what that was about. So that's what you're seeing, the cycle of visitors. Okay.
This particular contest is to help train your members on what they should be doing, and what your leadership should be doing with you, not for you, but with you. So, we don't want to overwhelm people with the number of people that join. All we're asking the members to do is invite. That's when you're sitting in the meeting, the only thing you need to say is invite. Visitor day is this day. Invite.
Right.
But you and your leadership team need to make sure you're taking the steps to ensure those people come back. You check on them, have their one-to-ones, do all those things so that they feel like NTI should be their home.
Exactly what she said. Okay. And this is what Brooke was just talking about. Now, we're not offended at all, maybe a little, if you don't do a hobnob, or you don't do a networking gone wild, or you don't do a visitor day, or you don't do a happy hour. We feel like our job is to encourage, to inform. So we don't, as 1099, again, independent contractors, I don't really feel like I should make anyone come to the meeting leader meetings, that it should be mandatory that you have these events while you should be doing them. Like networking today is like, I wouldn't say that we're rule breakers, but we're the closest thing to a rule breaker. Like we don't follow the rules necessarily at NTI. So I understand if you are one of those rogue meeting leaders that refuses to do anything. We have one meeting leader and he says that every day, every meeting is a visitor day meeting, but that's not true. And I've tried to teach on this. I've tried to encourage, I've tried to inform you the importance of having these scheduled events and how important they are. I hope that you're doing them. I hope you're doing them. It not for us. If you have a happy hour, it doesn't do anything for me, and it doesn't do anything for Brooke, and it doesn't do anything for Suzanne, and it doesn't do anything for the meeting in the state next door to you. It does everything for you, the members that attend your meeting, and the person that attends, the visitor. It's a blessing to everyone else. And so make sure that you've got your events scheduled. I wanted to touch on this real quick because here's the thing. We were going to make the switch from Fanzuma over to Keep, Keap. If you want to learn about Keep, be my guest. You can go over to keap.com and check it out. A friend of mine introduced me to Kartra. Another, I get inundated with people that refer to me stuff, but we're going to invest the money in building out Fanzuma and making Fanzuma everything we want it to be for networking today. But I wanted to show everyone something real quick because someone said to me, Rich, I'm really struggling with Fanzuma and knowing how to use it, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to show you guys something here just very quickly. Okay. Here's Fanzuma. If you don't have a login, that's where we need to start. Don't try to log in and create an account because we already have one for you. You're going to mess everything up if you try to create an account. If you click forgot password, the forgot password can work, but we've already assigned one to you. You might just shoot Brooke or me a text or shoot us an email. Definitely copy Brooke if you shoot over an email. But we can update your information. When you log in, I wanted to show you this, just how easy it is. So if you have many horizontal white boxes, those are locations. When you click on a location, it drops down the clubs. There is a welcome club, and then there's your club, your member club. Okay. If I click on my club and I scroll down, if I have ever sent out a message using FanZoom in the past, it's saved. So if I want to duplicate this event, I hit duplicate. If I want to change the description, I can. I'm the only one that sees this, not the subscriber. So you can make this say whatever you need it to say based on whether it's a weather-related closing or whatever, so that when you look at the description list of everything you've sent and you're duplicating the last message, you know which one you're duplicating. Okay, next, edit whatever you want from the text box. It's 300 characters. Edit whatever you want. Make sure that your customer percent, which populates their first name in the text when it's sent, is all lowercase. You want your customer to be lowercase so that it populates. If any of this is uppercase, it will not populate their first name. It has to be percent, customer, percent. Put any punctuation before or after, doesn't matter, but that has to be there. When you change this, what I do is I highlight it. I use a Mac, so I can hit Command C. I've copied the text. I click next. I update the subject line real quick. Usually what I'll do is I'll come down in here. I'll paste it. Whatever that text was, I'll edit it to make sure it's what I wanted it to be. I'll make sure the rest is good. My email signature is in here, which, by the way, make sure that you're branded for you. It's got your logo, your website link, your social media, whatever you want to promote you. Then when you're all done, you come down here to the bottom, and I have to move the Zoom window stuff. I hit next. What you do here is you click this box. You can either click now, which I always do. I always click now, and then I move the day and time to whatever I want. I don't know why I do it that way. I just always have. And you're going to see here in the box, it's updating as I change it. What time I want that message to go out, what day, what year, whatever I want to do. FanZoom is a set it and forget it type tool. So you might take a Saturday morning when you're not doing anything, you sit there with a cup of coffee, go in and do event reminders over and over and over and over, put them in there, and then forget about it. But maybe tweak the text slightly. And so what I say to people is maybe write 6 messages. And in the description, call it number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. And then maybe like on the 7th week, you rotate back to the first one. They're not going to remember what the first one said anyway, but it keeps it fresh. But you took the time to create 6 templates, and then you can use which one you want. I'm going to go ahead and hit delete out of that because I don't want to send that. But that's how easy it is. Literally duplicate. Next. Time. Schedule. Like, I don't know why that's difficult, but it's that easy to use. And I know it's that easy to use because I've played with other systems that are not so easy. Okay, so please don't tell me it's difficult because it's not. You just have to learn how to do it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and sign up. All right, moving right along. So that's the CRM. Make sure you know how to use it. If you don't, let me or Brooke know and we'll help you, okay? Email follow-up for today's meeting. I'm really working hard to get better at creating that email correspondence. I plan to send out a message tomorrow morning. Maybe it will be today. I don't know, depending on timing. But by tomorrow morning, sending out an email to everyone that couldn't make it or everyone that maybe had to jump off early with updates of what we discussed in today's meeting leader meeting.
Here.
And Miss Amy is here. So Amy sends out an email every week. Those of you that say that we do a poor job of communication, believe me, we're trying. Amy sends out an email.
Amy's a boss. Every week she sends an update to all the meeting leaders. So thank you, Amy, for that.
And not only that, Amy is our meeting leader concierge. I haven't mentioned that in quite a while, but if you can't reach me, you cannot reach Brooke. You cannot reach your area director. Amy is wonderful to go to. And we see her at once, twice, sometimes 3 or 4 times a week. And so it's not hard for Amy to bring us an update or to ask us about something. So utilize Amy, but Amy takes meeting notes. She really does a good job of keeping all these notes and sends it out in a follow-up. So thank you, Amy, as Brooke said, for that. We really appreciate that so very much. I know our meeting leaders do too. You guys know that I like promoting reading. The reason why I do is because I believe that knowledge is power. They say that leaders are readers. They say that the wealthiest people who are making multi-millions read at least 12 books a year. So we're trying to read as many as we can. And one of the greatest ones is Blue Ocean Strategy. One of the things they talk about in Blue Ocean Strategy is Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines came out, and instead of competing in the red ocean of price war, bloodbath, cut your throat, no profit, low margins of competition, Southwest Airlines came out against United, American, and Delta, and they came out with one plane. The pilots had to learn to fly one plane. Mechanics had to learn to work on one plane, and they had limited directions, and they were more profitable than any other airline at the time. And I might add, Yellowtail Wines did the same exact thing. I can go on and on and on. Chick-fil-A said, we're not going to compete with McDonald's, Hardee's, Wendy's, Burger King. We're going to come out and we're going to have our own. We're not going to compete. They weren't even competing with KFC, and they do it their way. They are operating in what we call a blue ocean, and that's what Blue Ocean Strategy is all about. I believe it'll help your meeting location. I believe it'll help your business. I believe it'll help you overall. So I encourage you to get involved. Okay, that being said, our next call, believe it or not, is March 1st. And what that means is, you know how quick these 2 weeks go by. That means 2 full months will be in the bag for 22 on our next call.
That's a long day for us too. And,
I can't believe it.
And it's Fat Tuesday. Shirts on, guys.
Right.
Shirts on.
Guys, we need well, hey, ladies, we need your shirts on too. Okay. Look at
Ray.
Ray already wants to get naked. It ain't even
boy.
March 1st when he wants to get
That's
naked.
because he's warm in Florida. The rest of us are like freezing.
But seriously, get yourself a king cake, get ready to enjoy. But
we have an event that we've partnered with one of our members with Trade Bank, and we have a big event at a bowling alley that night. So it's going to be an exciting day.
It is going to be an exciting day. We encourage each and every one of you to participate, get on the call. Hopefully we'll have a million more updates for you, but thank you very much for joining us here today. We're so glad that you did. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks. I'm going to stop the recording. Did I say recording?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stop the recording.
Fat Tuesday. Sorry, Amy. It's Fat Tuesday.
What'd you call it?
Mardi Gras. It's Fat Tuesday.
Fat Tuesday. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming. If you have to chime out and be gone, well, adios. We love you. We're thankful for you. We are praying for you and your success. And we just are grateful that everyone was here. Thanks for joining us.